For our viewers, can you explain what is passive aggressive racism?
Well, the majority of the racism you're gonna have is gonna be considered more passive aggressive. It's not gonna be your in your face, your clan racism. It's gonna be like the nuances of white supremacy. It's gonna be the microaggressions of white supremacy. That's what you're gonna deal with on the daily, like them making up certain rules that that's targeting you, but they're not calling you the N word. You understand? Or certain, price points they have put things at because they studied where black people are at economically. So they say, okay, we're gonna move the price points here because we know in the city most black people only make, let's say, 45,000. So we're gonna make it 85,000. It's just the nuances that they do, to us, or certain things they may say, certain stereotypes, but they don't call you the N word, right? So that's more so what that focuses on and what we deal with, knowing when to see it and when to hear it.
What does passive aggressive racism look like in corporate America?
In corporate America, for us, definitely the glass ceiling. For us in corporate America, you could be the most educated, and then you will bring a white person in, you will train them, and within a year, they'll be your boss. Now you say, that's not racism, they was better. Really? You got 10 years experience, you never been late, you brought the company a lot of money, but he comes in or she comes in, you train your own supervisor. You know good and well that don't happen. You have never seen none of your white coworkers be done like that, but you. Or you bring different ideas, projects, but you never get brought up to the board. But yet your white coworker, they hardly do anything. Listen, one thing I know about white people, they can just be mediocre and get above you, or get above the most best and brightest black person because of what happens in this system of white supremacy. Like the white is currency, black is bad in this country. So we got to fight against that. Unfortunately, that's why I don't believe in us giving our talents to corporate America. I believe learn from corporate America, get all the skills you can, and then create your own business. There's no glass ceiling with our own businesses.
And also too, man, I observed that, but I think there's a level of delusion in people being unrealistic and not acknowledging nepotism. People taking care of themselves. Because most black-owned establishments I know, especially smaller ones, not humongous ones, the majority of employees are black people. So I don't see why we're looking for something different in their institution.
Well, nepotism is a real thing, and I know exactly what you're talking about with nepotism. But not all white people know each other like that. So you mean to tell me this guy just come off the street that, okay, I can get it if you say, oh, well, he knows him, he knows her. But somebody just came in, as I explained earlier, he didn't know them. So how is it nepotism? Because you have to use to know the person to promote the person up. They do it based on skin color. So you could say nepotism, but no, it's white supremacy. Because if they were like that, then they would do this for the black person too.
You wrote a book called 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, right? Can you share what you believe are the 2 most important steps to the decolonization of one's mind?
Ooh, boy, I can even amend that book today because I've learned so much. But really, the first thing, in my opinion, is just knowing who you are, right? Because the one thing that this society tries to do is remove you from who you are, remove you, first of all, from your community. If you are removed from your community, you have nothing. They don't want you to connect yourself back to even to your history here in America, all the greats, where we come from. They just want us to think that we are a slave, right? We're way more than a slave. We have built America. We innovated America. Even before that time, we were building things, doing things in the African continent and even all over the world. So they don't want us to connect to that history. So the first thing we have to do is just get a knowledge of self. Once you get a knowledge of self and actually start loving yourself and saying, it's okay, the skin color, it's okay, my hair, it's okay, my history, my people, that's okay. And believe it or not, there are some people that still have an identity crisis with themselves because they just hate themselves because America teaches you in society to be anti-black. It don't matter where you come from. It is like the foundation of America to teach anti-black racism. So we have to unlearn that because a lot of us hate ourselves. We hate our people. Like a brother step on your shoe, you're ready to kill him. But let Master Charlie over here step on your shoe. Oh, it's no problem, sir. We still like that to this day, unfortunately. And I would say the second thing that we definitely need to do to decolonize our mind, and just to say this, we need to speak our mind more than anything else. And because they teach us, don't say anything, be quiet, go along to get along, right? And go along to get along, what I've seen and learned, don't get you nowhere. So you definitely need to speak your mind, be courageous, be bold, because that's the two things. They cannot stand a black man for sure, or a black woman that's courageous and bold. They hate that. That's why they want to put a black man in a dress. That's why they only cool with you, if you're LGBT. But if you're a straight laced, heterosexual black man that's alpha male talking a certain way, they fear that. So you got to be more into that more than anything else.